And that's how Uncle Ben received communion. And my brother Frank sponsored him.
What's his real name? Is
His,
Ben real? Is his real name?
no, that's his nickname.
Okay.
His real name is Donato, Donata, D-A, Donato.
D-O-N-A-T as in Tom?
Yeah. Yeah, that's not as, but we call him Uncle Ben.
How did he get an Italian name when everybody else had an American name?
Oh, Uncle Frank.
Yeah.
In Italian, you don't say Frank, you say Francisco.
Okay.
Now I'm going to start the Italian names.
Like Francisco? That's how you would write it in Italian?
Yeah.
And Anna was Anna.
Anna, her name was Anna.
Tony was Antonio?
Antonio.
And Joe DePaulak was Giuseppe?
Giuseppe.
Aha. Matthew was Matthew, right?
Matthew, yeah.
Artie?
Arthur.
Oh, okay.
And Uncle Lou, there we go again with Uncle Lou. Remember I was telling you?
His real name was
but
George?
his real name is George.
Is it George or Giorgio?
George. But when he, see, was confusion there.
With all those kids, I can't imagine why.
Well, you know what? When Uncle Louis was born,
He's the youngest.
and I don't know if you know them or not, and in Gintelli, Fitzgerald Gintelli from Lake Street. Well, she got mad. She christened him, and she got mad because they named him George, and she says, "No, I'm going to bring him to church, and it's going to be Louis," and it was Louis all the time.
Who was that lady?
Well, it was my mother-in-law's sister. My mother-in-law's sister-in-law. It's in family. It's a long story.
Okay. Well, I'll have to come back. That's all.
You have to excuse me a minute.
Okay.
Can you, Anthony?
Sure, I'll talk to him.
I was in South America for 10 years.
Were you originally from here?
Oh yeah, I was born down north.
Okay.
And so I knew that she was just living here. She used to come and play in my house when we were kids.
So you grew up here? Oh, well, no.
I was 7 years old one day, brought me to Italy.
Okay.
From 1920, I came back in 1961.
So you were gone 41 years?
Yeah.
I'm not going to pass over here.
Okay.
I should have went down the other before.
But watch it on. It's a little.
And I lift up this leg all the time.
Well,
you got to stop dancing. That's all. So you came back. Make a long story short, you came back and
he got stuck with me.
Married the merry widow.
He hooked me that I couldn't do nothing.
You can't complain.
I still don't know.
You can't complain.
Going.
You can't complain.
Were you married before?
Yeah.
Okay. In South America or in Italy?
In Italy.
Italy.
I got married.
I like to take
I was
another
19
trip.
years old when I got married.
I would like to take another trip.
So when you lived in Italy, did you speak Italian and English, right? Did you still have?
He never forgot the Italian, the English language.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Because when he came
Even though you were
here,
only 7 when you left.
yeah, when he came here, a niece of mine lived next door, and they knew one another in Italy. And when she came here, she called me, and I went upstairs like a dummy. And
This is when he came back.
Yeah, 1961.
1961.
And when she called me, and I went upstairs. So I really was shocked. You know, living in Italy so long, I didn't know. I thought he forgot the English.
The greenhorn.
No, it isn't that.
Did you also speak Spanish fluently when
yeah.
you lived in South America?
South America,
yeah.
he spoke Spanish, yeah. Okay. To my regret. Because I don't like it. They're talking a mile a minute.
I don't speak German.
Your son now, right?
No. Frankie, they speak Portuguese.
Oh, Portuguese, excuse me.
It's different.
Yeah. They lived down there for 12 years.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah.
And you had a daughter Elizabeth who came up here. I
Yeah.
remember her.
Yeah.
I remember. Did she come to Belleville School for a while?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, she came.
And now
And-
she's where? Back in South America?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got 2 kids too.
Wow.
Now she was just up here this summer.
Really?
Yeah,
She
they
was up here in
got 2 girls.
August, I think. August,
I think
2 weeks
she was
ago.
Yeah, when she came out of the hospital.
How old is she now?
Oh, she's
She was-
46 years old.
Okay, so she's older than I. She's Lucille's age.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lucille's age.
Okay.
I was so going back now to Lucille. I was disappointed when I didn't know that she came out. You know, for Joe's funeral. I thought she was coming.
Oh, my
I
sister?
said, oh, yeah.
Oh.
And here I said, oh, I'm gonna see her. I'm gonna see her.
Well, you got me instead.
Yeah.
Second prize. You got
Oh,
the booby.
that-
Got the booby prize.
No, I always say to him, somebody said to me that I should not worry about the Kokoza family. Yeah, I should worry only about his side of the family. But how could I do that? I had 3 children with Uncle Jim.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. And I worship the Kokoza family. I'm sorry.
You left Jim out of this list.
Well, Jim was my first husband.
But you didn't tell me where he was born in the order.
Well, wait a minute now.
Yeah, Joe, Tony, Anna, Frank, Matthew, Artie.
All right, right here. He
After
was.
Matthew?
Yeah, right after Matthew.
So, what was it? Was his real name Jim?
No, his real name was Vincent.
Jeans.
Vincenzo?
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, there were
But-
9 kids in the house.
Oh, yeah.
So when Uncle Louis was born, they said, yeah, we don't care what you call him.
Oh, it was funny though.
Well, how, about what kind of an age difference from Joe to Lou? Is that like 10 or 12 years, or are they like 15 and
Oh,
to 2,
wow.
you know? Any idea?
Well, Uncle Lou would have been 80 years old
Now.
now. And I don't know just when he passed away.
Okay.
Gee, I don't remember.
Who?
Uncle Louis.
See, tomorrow she's going to be saying, I should have told him this, and I remember this day.
No,
I remember that
I
day."
don't remember their.
That's okay.
I know their birthdays,
Okay.
but the year I don't know.
Wow.
Well, here I could tell you about
Yeah.
Uncle Jim. Uncle Jim was just 88 years old. He would be 88 years old in November.
Will be?
Yeah.
Or last November.
Now will be.
Okay, that tells me where.
He was just 8 years older than me.
Okay. And
See, I can't remember the.
that's all right. We'll get a hang
And
of it.
she's 2 years older than me.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, Joe is the one with Mary Ann and son
Frank.
Frankie, and then Frankie goes is in Connecticut. Do you remember Frankie in Connecticut? His wife's name?
Lucille.
That's Frankie and Lucille. Yeah.
You know, it was funny when my son got married. He was altar boy. And it so happened that he married a girl by the name of Lucille, Frankie Lucille.
And you're Frankie married.
My
Lucille.
Frankie Lucille.
So,
My Frankie
so
went,
there's 2 Lucille Cocosas.
right. Yeah.
No offense, they're
Oh,
Different as night and day.
Oh.
kids, all of them.
Oh.
So I met these people and
yeah, they are. You know what? I'm going to give them a ring. I got to call Frankie and Lucille one night.
And they have 2 girls.
Who?
Frankie and Lucille.
yeah.
You're Frankie.
My Frankie, yeah.
And what are the girls' names?
Lisa
Okay.
and Minda.
And are they married?
Lisa's married.
Uh-huh.
And they
got a
have
boy and a girl.
boy and a girl. The little boy is 5 years old, and the little girl is going to be 2, May 4th.
You don't remember their names?
Do I remember their
Yeah,
name? My
they're
private
great-grandchildren,
package.
but
Those
you
are my. Christopher's 5,
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah is going to be 2 years old.
Sarah or no
No,
H?
no H.
Okay, she's going to be 2.
Yeah, she's going to be 2.
And what's Lisa's husband's name?
Kevin
And her last name now?
Kobus. Kobus.
Okay. And where they live? Florida?
They live in Delaware.
Delaware. And what about Linda?
Linda is living in Florida.
And single.
Yeah,
And happy?
28 years old.
20. You know how old Lisa is?
Lisa, 32.
Oh, okay.
And they all say to me that I think more of Lisa. It isn't that I think
She
more
has
of her.
grandchildren.
No,
Great-grandchildren.
that is Uncle Jim was in the hospital in New York, and I used to go every day.
Okay.
And when I would go to New York, and I knew Lucille was pregnant, and she couldn't come to New York, but when the baby was born, they used to pick me up, and at that time I was losing Frankie. Frankie had double pneumonia. He was very sick.
Your son, Frankie?
Yeah, and they were living over here on Sanford Avenue. So when they would bring me home, my nephews would bring me home, they used to make me stay over there. And the baby was like joy to me,
Yeah.
because she was born, and they keep teasing me about it.
How did Uncle Jim die?
Cancer.
Okay. And they went to New York at the time?
Yeah,
He was young though, right?
56.
Yeah.
And doing that trip, Marie and Joanne were in school, Anthony, and I had to leave. I used to leave them home. But there's God above. He watches over us for some reason.
What did he do for a living? Was he?
Oh, he was working in DuPont's.
Okay. Anything special there, or just?
No,
labor?
just a labor. But then before that, he was working in the Mountain Ridge Country Club.
Doing what there at the club?
Oh, take care of the greens and
Oh,
stuff
like a
that.
groundskeeper?
Yeah, maintenance.
Did you always have the embroidery shop? Did you always do that? I mean, I always remember Aunt Connie always had the store.
Yeah.
But
No, I didn't always have that.
did you used to do that? Or?
I did that. I used to do a lot of homework, embroidery and stuff like that. But when I had the shop, it was because our boss died, and we took the place over.
Did you? Was it your shop?
It was mine and the Color Girl. We were running it.
What was the name of that?
Embroidery Masters.
Was it always that name?
Yeah.
It wasn't never Kokoza Embroidery Masters?
No. Always embroidery.
And that was on Belmont Avenue?
Franklin Street
Franklin Street.
in Belleville.
Right. Weren't you ever on Belmont Avenue?
Not too long, because we found that this place was somewhere in the corner, but it was better.
So you moved
Yeah.
originally on Belmont Avenue.
Yeah.
See, I remember being on Belmont Avenue, like where L&S Drugstore was.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Like a steel trap.
Yeah.
That's nice.
See now what you're doing now, and
Yeah.
you're just asking different questions, and I'm answering you.
Is it good or bad?
I like that.
Okay, good, because
I really like that. My niece came last Wednesday night. She came here, and that's what we were talking about, all the old times. I always say that radiator over there could only talk, and this kitchen could only talk. Yeah.
Let's see. Where we go from here? Did a lot of the brothers work at GM or something, or General Electric, or Westinghouse?
The Cocosas.
Yeah.
Yes, Uncle Joe worked at General Electric. Uncle Frank worked at, Uncle Tony worked, well, your grandfather.
Yeah, at General Electric?
All at GE. Aunt Annie worked at GE. Now, Uncle
Frank
Ben
too?
was Uncle Ben was a carpenter. Uncle Lou was a printer. Uncle Jim didn't work at GE.
You worked in the
Where did
pharmacy,
Uncle?
sir.
Oh, Uncle Artie worked in the rubber set.
When they used to
Uncle
bring the
Manny
bus.
worked in Riverside. All the dirt I'm giving out.
This is perfect. You remember my Uncle Carney? My
Yeah,
father's brother-in-law?
yeah, how's he doing?
He's doing okay. He had fallen last year. After my cousin came up from Florida and we sat down and talked, I said, she said, I don't know all this stuff. You should talk to Uncle Cal. They call him Cal.
Yeah.
So I called him up last May and I said, Uncle Cal, I want to sit down and talk to you about Uncle Joe and the whole family. He says, okay, I'm pretty busy, but, and I haven't called him.
Oh, you
And
should.
so I'm thinking, well, my wife said she was going out. And I said, well, look, if you're going out, I said, I was thinking, she said, why don't you, go see your Uncle Carney? I said, yeah, I think so, but, I think I want to see my Aunt Connie first, because that's the other side of the family,
Yeah.
and then sit down with him. My cousin from Florida because she grew up, my father was like a teenager and she was like 7 or 8 years
Yeah.
old, and her mother would send her from Newark to Belleville to spend the weekend in the country with Grandma.
Yeah.
And so she said, and I always remember your father, I don't know how he did it, but he used to find me some magazines, and I would go sit under a tree with the magazines and
Yeah.
with the goats and stuff and whatnot. I said, goats, farm? I was like,
Yeah,
I missed all that stuff, So she's, I said, whenever you think of stuff, I said, write a little paragraph or whatever, send me a copy of that. And she's been doing that.
Oh.
In fact, the other day I got from her, she remembered seeing her mother's immigration papers.
Oh.
So from when they came.
Yeah.
She thought they had come in on the Lusitania, but it turned out they came in through Boston on some other ship. And
Yeah.
from what I read, a lot of people went back and forth a lot. So
Yeah.
at one point they may have, so anyway, she just sent me a copy of that, and I looked at it. It's most of it's all in Italian. It's like the wedding certificate and the birth date. But she was able to tell me what town, Laviano, Italy, which I look on a map, and it's about 30 miles north of Buccino, Italy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, gee, that's a lot further than more than I ever knew. I never knew any of that stuff until I got in touch with this cousin from Florida. As far as I knew, my grandfather died in 1929.
Oh.
And my grandmother, as far as we knew, he never had any brothers or sisters. Well, what I've been able to piece together, now that I know of town that they came from, there was a Robert Buccino in the newspaper, a little bit older, like in his early 50s, and he works for the Department of Justice. So I wrote to him, I sent him a copy of the book, I said, we're probably not related, but at one time, my grandfather had the property on Passaic Avenue where the power lines are. This is what I got from my cousin.
Yeah.
Power lines, public service came and said, we want this property. We'll pay you for the property. You move. So what they did was, I remember my father telling me they picked up the house and moved it with horses and carriages down to Gillespie Avenue. And so I knew that they had lived on Passaic Avenue. And I said, well, they're from Laviano, Italy. Originally, my grandfather had a house on Passaic Avenue. So he writes back and says, he calls me up, he said, I think we are related because my grandparents came from the same village in Italy named Buccino.
Yeah.
I said, well, the only thing we don't know if my grandfather had any brothers and sisters because he died in 1920 and the kids didn't know.
Yeah.
And so once they moved down the hill, they didn't keep track with the relatives up the hill.
Yeah.
If they were even his brothers.
Right. It's
knowing the way
wonderful.
people come and settle down, it was probably all the brothers bought all the land on the street and knew who moved down there. He died. They don't, maybe the sister-in-law never got along with them or something. She only had 9 kids.
But
it's in other words, I'm finding relatives.
Yeah, it's a
just
nice
never thought
feeling.
that I had.
Well, like when I went to Italy, and another cousin of my mother's came strutting up, and they have their hands in their pocket. She had her hands in her pocket. And my cousin Bridget says to me, don't talk, keep quiet. So this cousin, she came to stand alongside of me, and she kept, but you can't talk to me in Italian. She was telling me, ma non può parlare. I said, no. I was gone. So Bridget kept not making faces at me and I wouldn't talk. So then she turned around and she says, in Italian, I don't know you, but your face is awfully familiar. She says, I look just like my mother. And when she said that to me, I could have
That
cried.
you look just like your mother.
Yeah, I cried. I cried. I says, she was now I had to go way over to Italy, and to think that I had to meet my relatives. It's an awful feeling.
Did you come over here with your parents?
No,
She was born here.
I was born
You
here.
were born here.
I have a sister, well, older. My brother Sam, my sister Celia, and then it was my brother Tom, Dan. You writing my family down
Yes.
too? Oh.
Sam, Celia, Tom, Dan.
Dan, and me, my sister Lou.
L-U like Lucille?
And they-
Lucy?
yeah, her name is Lucy.
The baby.
And these were all Albertis.
Yep.
Alberti.
Now I have to tell you something. You are going to get confused before you get out of here.
Yeah, because...
Uh,
no, go ahead.
You see now, that is not my name, Alberti.
No.
That's not my maiden name. But when my brother Sam had to go to school, the school used to be over here on the name where the stone crab is,
Yeah.
across the street. That used to be the little schoolhouse. Then they built a school here,
Yeah.
and the principal, Mr. Shorger, my father couldn't speak English.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Shorger didn't understand, and he's Alberti, and he left it Alberti, and it's been Alberti ever since.
It's Alberti.
But my right name is Aliperto.
A-L-I-P...
Aliperto. That's why I was
C-L?
Aliperto.
T-O.
Yeah. See, now that's why my nephews, if they would come here, like now you came,
Yeah.
I could sit and explain. But what could I write down in a?
Yeah, it's just, there's just too much you can say.
Right, you can't.
At least I'm
and
trying
then staying on the telephone.
I'm trying to
That
direct
bit.
you. I'm trying to direct you a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure after I get all this organized, I'm gonna say, okay, now I want to know all about this person, all about that person, all about that person.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
and you know, you can tell me, you know.
yeah. Right.
I hope. Your parents' names were?
Madeline
Yeah.
and Raphael.
R-A-F-A?
Raffella.
Wow. And you know your mother's maiden name?
Yes, Penna.
P-E-N-N-A?
Mm-hmm.
You know where, okay, we went back, you told me where your parents were from.
Marianne.
Marianne. Could you spell that for me? I don't think you did.
No. Marigilano.
Fabulous. Great.
Oh, I wish I could take another trip. My cousin Bridget, the one that there, she passed away and they never told me. They wouldn't let me know because we had trouble of my own.
From Italy?
Yeah. But I still keep in touch with them. I don't say we could go there all the time. I say I wish I could go, but I would never be able to make the trip.
Yeah.
But I like to keep in touch with the
We
family.
had 2 wheelchairs. We got 2 wheelchairs. 2 canes.
We
got 3 canes.
A lot of people travel right in a wheelchair.
That's
They
right.
were
Nothing.
the first to get on the plane.
Yeah, that's right.
I
If
would-
anything happens, they'll be the
If
last
I
one.
would go any place, I would want to go to Florida. I would like to go to stay down with my son.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, who's stopping you? All at once, it goes wacky. I don't want to go to a place. Well, stay there.
Well,
No. Okay, Anna and Frank Alberti had brother.
yeah.
Frank never married. My grandfather married Angelina, right?
No,
What was her name?
Ann.
Not my grandfather. His wife.
Oh, Angelina, yeah.
Angelina.
Fiore. Her last name was Fiore.
Okay. Uncle Mattie's wife?
And Josie.
Is she alive?
Well, this is his second wife. His first wife was
Oh, that's-
named His first name, wife's name was Josie too. So what's the difference?
Okay, I went down to that wake down there, down Tom's River, wasn't it?
Long Branch.
Long Branch. That, because when Billy had the pet store,
Yeah.
After the reunion up at Ria's, Flo said to me, "What's the matter? You never go to the pet store and buy something from my son?" I said, "Oh, he has a pet store. I didn't know he had a pet store."
Yeah.
So I started going to the pet store, and I used to see him all the time and sit there and talk to him for an hour.
And have even 5 minutes. Just say hello.
Then he sold that, and he bought the deli.
Yeah.
So I used to go there and see him.
Yeah.
Now he went
he's not
back.
working.
Now he's not working right now, but he does the baseball cards. But I run into his father. I know what candy store he buys his newspaper in the morning, so I stop in and see
Uncle
him.
Billy.
And then
I keep in touch with them.
Kind of keep in touch a little bit. But with the kids, and you're running, and you come home on Friday night. Next thing you know, it's Monday morning, time to go back to work.
Yeah.
It's just really incredible.
Hey, we know that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. How much? Will it be this Saturday and Sunday? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to paint a house. I'm going to come to.
Joe the Pollock, his wife.
Wilhelmina.
Oh, okay. We went through that. Okay.
Yeah, you had that. Uncle Frank was the only one that wasn't married.
Uncle Frank
and Uncle Bim.
And Uncle Bim.
No. I was going to say he's the baby. No, he's not.
No,
George.
Uncle Louis.
What about
He looks
baby, 80-year-old baby.
who's down in Florida now? That's Uncle Bim.
Yeah, he's down in Naples.
He's going to be 80 now?
He is 80.
He's up.
He's 82.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I remember you telling me? That because Anna was the only girl, she used to have to do all the laundry in the house and iron the brothers' shirts, and they were tell me about that.
And you know where she had to hang them? Well, I don't have any in here. Molding.
Yeah.
The molding, and each boy's shirts had to be not because he was my husband, but he was a fuss pot. No shirt could be worn by him if it wasn't a Manhattan shirt. He had to wear a Manhattan shirt all the time, and his shirts had to be special, in a special spot. Each one had their own special. They were all hanging on the wall.
This was even before you got married.
Oh yeah, because he couldn't. There was no room. Grandma only had two little closets, little thing like this. How could they?
That was on 11th Street also.
Yeah, that's still.
Did they own that house? Or?
Yeah, Grandma owned it. Grandma and Grandpa owned it. Now Uncle Bim sold it. Oh yeah, shirts. Oh, they used to come out of your ears. The shirts used to pop up.
Was that before she went to work, or even after she went to work?
No, even before she went to work, she had it hard in Annie. Even after she got married, she had shirts. I used to go over there and help out. I used to walk when Uncle Jimmy had to work nights, Mm-hmm. My mother and my father used to not go to bed, they used to stay up. And then I used to walk over to 11, because you could trust yourself then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Today you can't trust yourself. I used to walk over there, and then when he used to come home, he used to stop on 11th Street, and we used to come home together. They were good old days.
Yeah.
Not like today.
The subways down Bloomfield Avenue. I remember that.
Yeah.
The streetcars?
Yeah.
Not subways, really.
Yeah.
How about a cup of coffee?
No, don't fuss.
No, you get the ice cream.
Ice cream.
It's better. I like that.
You can have ice cream?
I can.
Are you on all kinds of special diets now, or the hell with the doctors?
The hell with the
Diet?
doctors, right.
Well, I'm just
Anthony,
asking, that's all.
Anthony, maybe you think I'm going to be crazy for saying it, but I'm not. I'm gonna eat here because I'm not gonna get anything in the other world.
That's what you, so far anyway, right? As far as you can tell.
That's right. No,
Maybe it's too good.
no,
I come
I eat anything. It doesn't bother
Do
me.
you remember anything, any kind of special customers or anything from the embroidery store? Anything special?
No, just the quilting I used
Crazy
to do.
people, eccentric.
No,
Nothing
no,
like that?
nothing like that. No.
How long did you have that store?
Oh,
You worked there before you took over? How long? Did you work there for a while? Do you remember?
oh yeah, I worked there from. Let me see.
Were the kids born?
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
right
my
from the-
children
from the
were
time-
big.
From
They
the
were
time
gr-
you were married?
Oh